Welcome, class. What we're going to look at here today is phase change in temperature. We're going to heat water, but first, in a second, we need some extra information. So what I'm going to do is I need to find some information about my stove. So I'm going to take out my thermometer here, right, and we're going to set it on this stove. So right now, this thermometer is balancing out heat with the air around it. So the air around it is actually cooler than the thermometer. It doesn't have as much heat. So that's why you're seeing the temperature go down. So what we're going to look at now is what happens if I turn my stove on. Right? So you can clearly see it there, and touch this to the stove. Now you see the temperature go up. So what's happening is the stove has a ton of heat to be able to give to this thermometer. And so when they have the same amount of heat, then they no longer transfer that heat and the temperature doesn't change. So we're going to look for what is the temperature, or how much heat do I have at my 3 setting. I don't know if you can't quite see right here, but on my stove I'm at 3, and so I'm trying to find out what temperature that is. And again, temperature is something you may have heard before, that temperature is the kinetic energy of the molecules. So what's going on with the molecules in this stove? So here I'm going to set this up and we'll watch the data go. I'll speed it up a little bit so we don't have to wait, but you'll be able to see right here over time. So let me start this. And so here it takes a temperature reading every 2 seconds. So we're going to go, and if the stove has more heat, the temperature should go up. If the stove ever gets to equal the heat of the thermometer, then the temperature won't change. So let's see what happens here. Alright, so clearly here we can see that the temperature isn't changing. Now the small drops you may have seen, I went from 205 to 202, that may have been from my air conditioner being on, but overall this is saying that the heat from the stove only gets to about 202 on the 3 setting. Okay? So let's see what it goes to. Now I'm at medium, that's my 5 setting real fast, so you can see that nice glow picking up. Okay? And so let's see what happens on this one. So here you can clearly see that the temperature is going up, 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 and that's only on the 5 setting. I'm going to have to stop this here because my temperature probe can only handle about 250 degrees, but if the 3 setting was roughly 205, the 5 setting would be more of that, and then you can even see these other settings that I have. I could go all the way to high. Look how bright it gets. That's clearly going to go a lot more. So the temperature on high is going to be way above, let's say 212, which is the boiling point of water. So I'm going to take this off, but now we've learned about our stove. That our stove has a temperature far above the boiling point of water.